just blew up my laptop, so I will be rejoining us all shortly.
Oh, damn.
Well, I just hit go live.
I'm
um,
still
Ooh,
here,
that's a
but I'm not
good
here.
face.
right. So, hello and welcome to this definitely unannounced because I forgot to do the Twitter thing.
Womp womp.
Stream. That's the word I'm thinking of. Stream of that D&D podcast where we're testing out the L5R beta because we're hip and cool and with it. My name is Andrew Otway, but I'm not DMing tonight. That illustrious role goes to the one, the only, Zach.
Hi, folks.
He's not back yet. Oh, sorry.
I'm not visually in evidence, but I am here. Currently working my way through some technical gubbins, but I appear to have rolled some strife, and will be rejoining momentarily.
That's a rules joke for the rules that none of us are familiar with.
That's right.
Aha.
I just gave a thumbs up to my webcam that you can't see me through.
Swish.
This is going swimmingly.
Cool. So as stated previously, my name is Andrew Otway, and tonight I will be playing the role of a very pretty Scorpion Clan boy. And I'm still going through character gen because this is going to be a quick and dirty and hopefully enjoyable stream.
Hello, all. My name is Kyle. Tonight I will be playing the role of Yuji Jango, which, long story short, she is a samurai witch doctress who wants to judge all foreign gods against the pure gods of Rokugan.
Hi, folks. I'm Mike J. Erickson Broad. I am going to be playing a dragon person, not confused with a dragonborn. Dragon investigator or something like that.
Oh,
Sounds pretty
good.
cool.
Oh, the Kitsuki.
Yeah.
Oh
super.
no!
Kit. Uh,
You know you've aced character gen when the other two players go, "Oh shit!"
Right. Yeah, I'm playing the equivalent of Light Megami from that game, that show that was really good on Netflix.
I
yes.
just like the fact that you guys are the joke. It's a scorpion, a unicorn, and a dragon walk into a bar
And I can swim.
Haha.
swim, which is amazing. Um,
I don't
Okay,
actually have the
so-
swim skill. I really hope there isn't a swim skill.
There is
There's a
not.
swim skill.
There is?
Another swim skill.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
called athletics.
No.
Yeah, there's a general athletics skill, which is a scorpion culture you may not have.
Yes.
Luckily, you can use your, I'm sure, enormous water ring probably for that.
One is big, right?
One is big. It's like
Okay.
golf.
Good.
Lower is better.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
Well,
I
our
can
listeners-
just
that would
embrace the
rest
void
off
and
there.
float, right? Or air.
embrace the void, embrace the darkness and the deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, fuck nuggets. Oh, my poor poutine.
Tabernacle.
Hello to our listeners. I believe we are actually a podcast tonight. We are four white dudes with beards. I think
Mhm.
that's the required number.
Yep.
Mhm.
None of us have played this system before. We're going to be sort of working our way through it as we play it. And I thought we could probably start. I know a couple of us, some of us have finished character generation, and some of us haven't. So I figured we could go through and go down the list of questions really quickly. And cover the important ones at least about these characters, just kind of give everybody an idea about the characters and about what we're in the game. Is that
Good plan. I like it.
Let me scroll all the way back down because my PDF shut when my laptop died. Okay. So, I really like this character generation method where they just give you a list of questions and you answer them and it gives you stuff.
Hmm.
That feels, especially for a game like a setting like Rokugan L5R, where like so much of your character is about where you were born, where you went to school, and very deterministic in a lot of ways until you like end that and start becoming this weirdo that does the wrong thing all the time, like a Rokugan hero. So, we will start at the first question, which we've already covered a little bit, which is what clan does your character belong to? I guess we'll just go. I don't even know. Is the graphic order the same as I'm seeing it in Roll20, or?
It is. I think what we should do instead. I don't have like a full overlay for this. This is literally just people are seeing Roll20 with a bar over the top. I think the way to do it for this is let's pick one person and just flesh out that one
All the way
character.
down? Okay. Okay.
And I will not go first.
Mike is eating, and Andrew is not done with his character yet. So, Kyle,
By
how you
default,
doing?
I'm doing good. Doing pretty good. I believe I'm also. I mean, has Mike finished his character? No, so it's just me then. Okay.
Mike asked where the rules were.
Good point. I forgot that. All right.
Order for this, then. Okay.
Yes. So, let's start with my character.
What clan does your character belong to?
My character is part of the Unicorn Clan. And the Unicorn Clan are basically the long-lost extra great clan from Rokugan. Most of them decided that they wanted to make their own homelands better. Unicorn were like, no, we're going to go exploring, and we'll see you in 600 years. And they explored beyond... Yes, they explored beyond the borders of what Rokugani knew as existence. They met a whole bunch of wonderful gaijin, learned all of their methods to improve themselves, which is a big no-no back home because purity is best. 2017. And we've... Yeah.
Oh,
and
too soon.
Come back now.
Too
Come
soon.
back. It's October. It's not too soon. We've come back now to Rokugan. Now wish to improve our Lord's lives and serve the Celestial Order, but using a whole bunch of foreign knowledge that nobody likes or trusts.
This sounds like a heap of blasphemy.
Yeah, so
just you wait, because question...
exceptionally good at blasphemy.
Just you wait, because question 2, what family am I? I'm part of the Iuchi family. The Iuchi family are the Shugenja, or the magic users of the Unicorn, but they don't do prayers to the kami. Oh, no, sir. They do what's called Meishodo, which is basically witch doctory. They make little totems and talismans, and they imbue them with the powers of spells. So I literally can have dolls that will have hurdy spells put into them, and I can stab them.
Sounds like Maha to me.
Prove it.
It's a good thing the dragon are fairly open-minded, huh?
Oh, yes.
how many demons would you say are in your bag?
There is one way to find out.
Is it a 5-demon bag? Is it?
There's one way to find out, and that's not it.
Okay. So for those following along at home, which I'm sure there are many, so each of these choices that Kyle made to get to this point, the clan and the family give his character points and rings. Rings are the four classic hermetic elements: air, earth, fire, water, and then void. And this is sort of a central concept in the Legend of the Five Rings game, believe it or not, and setting. And so, made are both defining his character as a person, but also defining his character mechanically as we go on. And before we go any further, I would just like to say that while my heart really belongs to the crab and the dragon, I have a very special place in my heart for the unicorn, specifically because they are multicultural explorers that came back into the Empire with a huge humanist bent that wound up getting a bunch of them killed. It was great. But yeah, like there's a lot to love, for me at least, within the Unicorn clan. I do appreciate them. And yes, they did come back. They left and they came back, which means that Kyle's character is actually, like, when I was doing the prep for this one shot, when the Unicorn came back, proved to be an important distinction and made me change some things around about the adventure we'll be running. So, which is fine. It's just kind of a fun note.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Moving on to question 3. What is your character's role and school?
Well, my character, Django, went to the Meishodo School, which is Witch Doctor U. They teach you how to commune with the spirits, and they teach you the way of names, which is basically how I make my talismans that I can use for myself or hand out to others if I am feeling so generous.
Mm-hmm.
Because the nice thing about my school is that anybody can use my magic if I just give them a talisman. So I can make y'all have a handy little thing in your pocket.
Anybody with blood,
Give
though,
that sort of
right?
power to a scorpion.
Yeah, if I so chose.
No, that
You
seems
hand
like a
one of
good
the
plan.
demons. Mm-hmm. You can hand one of the demons from your bag to the scorpion. That seems like an awesome idea.
Mhm.
Um,
So the school gave me a boost to a couple of rings, gave me a couple of skills I trained up, and most importantly, gave me a couple of rituals that I know. Those rituals are uh, Grasp of Earth, which pretty much lets me become a mini earthbender and snare somebody in a well of solid dirt. There is Gerogen's Balm, which, of course, since everything has just its own special name, I'm trying to remember what exactly that does. So I'll get back to that.
I think it's a healing spell.
Probably. I would think I would. Oh, no. If I succeed, target reduces difficulty of all checks to resist poison and disease by 1.
Okay.
Also, you can't get drunk. I knew I picked that for a reason.
You know where alcohol goes when you drink it? Your blood.
And then I picked, for my final ritual, Well of Desire, which lets me kind of be like a mini scorpion. It lets me spend extra, not successes or perks. What I forget the term for it, but
Opportunity?
There you go. Yes. When I make a check to present a gift to somebody, I can spend opportunity to make them forfeit glory to refuse my gift, and suffer strife if I so chose.
Yeah. So one of the things that mechanical things in this game now, and L5R has always had kata, which are sort of martial arts combo things that you can do, and kiho, which are weird magical monks can do, and then the spells that Shugenja have. And this edition is also adding this thing called Shuji, which is what that Well of Desire was, which are basically like social kata, which I think
Yeah,
are very cool.
they're word powers.
Yes, yeah, it's like a word kung fu move that you pull on somebody and they have to do the thing. I like it.
I start
All
with
right.
Lord Bayushi's Whispers, FYI. It's probably fine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, nothing to worry.
Yeah, no, there's no way that's terrible.
Nothing to
at
worry
all.
about.
It's probably fine.
I actually really love having Scorpion in games because they always are terrible and trouble, and everyone winds up being like, why did we bring the Scorpion? And then I don't have to come up with enemies anymore.
Well,
Um, okay, so number fourth question: how does your character stand out within their school?
Django stands out because she is very devout in mysticism, because that checks out. Like I briefly mentioned earlier, her personal goal, this kind of ties into the next couple of questions. Her personal goal is to take a survey, basically, of all of the foreign gods that the Gaijin worship and see if they are worthy of any kind of further study, if they have anything that can further benefit the clan, or if they're just something that we can either ignore or purge at our convenience. But that kind of broad theological study kind of gives her a little bit more of a self-centeredness and a kind of a higher grasp of both her place in the universe and the place of other deities and deities.
Okay, that's cool. That makes sense for a. I mean, if you're going to go to witch doctor school, you might as well be the most mystical witch doctor.
Hmm?
Okay. Number five. Question number five. What is your character's duty to their lord?
That kind of tied in with the previous question. I got 2 for 1 there, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so you're helping out your clan by going around and studying these foreign deities. All right. And is this what does your character long for? Does this also tie in, or did you have something more
No,
personal?
this one is kind of still up in the air. But what I had now is that in her travels, Django kind of found a whole lot of unnecessary strife among the lands, and of course, since these are all pitiful gaijin, they need the blessings of the celestial order in them. So what she wants to do is wherever she goes, because it can also apply to the home as well. She wants to plant good luck totems that she makes across the land,
Okay.
try and help
Okay.
ease the suffering of people.
Okay. Cool. So what do the good luck totems look like? Are they just carved up rocks? Are they?
Um, they could be kind of freeform. The most important thing about them is that they need to take some kind of natural element of the surroundings they're placed.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Number 7. What is your character's opinion of their clan?
She's straight up go unicorn go. She very much approves of their mission and how they're going about it. She is not a special snowflake in that regard.
I feel like that question's interesting because that's going to be the answer for most characters. It's like I'm playing a phoenix because I want to play a character that likes being a phoenix. I'm playing a
Yeah.
yeah like okay, cool. And what does your character think of Bushido?
Yeah,
Outside a witch doctor lady.
That that's not the she's not the straightest Bushido arrow. Let's just
Okay.
put it like that. She yeah, I forget because there's like friggin' 7 aspects of Bushido that people care about. But so I haven't quite nailed down where exactly she diverges, but she's not in complete alignment with her clan.
So is that your clan's interpretation of Bushido, and therefore for a Scorpion, it's just like you don't give a fuck?
Well, no, they give fucks about certain things. Their most what is it? Their most common thing that they care about a lot is the aspect of compassion, because you need it to have some kind of mutual understanding and cooperation with all of the people that you found in your journeys. Otherwise, you would have died.
Yeah. I mean, there are 7 original major clans.
Yeah.
And there are 7 in this game. So each of the clans has their own aspect that they most identify with. I believe Scorpion is duty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Because they are they signed up to play the villain.
Yeah.
Bayushi's like, yep, that's me.
Yeah.
We'll do this. I'll make sure everybody hates me so they don't hate each other enough to kill everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's their deal. And the unicorn were compassion. That's part of why they left in the first place, because they wanted to go spread the good word about Rokugan and bring people back in. And then they did, and everyone hated them for it.
Yeah, just a bang on place. Glad we came back.
And then the Scorpions started a war with them to welcome them back into the Empire.
Well,
and then they intentionally lost because that was their duty to help the other clan reintegrate. Right. So that's weird. It's super weird. Bushido makes people do strange things.
This is like, I honestly think Scorpion are kind of like the shitty janitors of this shitty knockoff Japan.
When they're being heroic, they absolutely are. That's when they're not actually being villainous, and they're just being like, this is the thing we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, like when Lion are doing their job, they're the shitty southern sheriffs of Rokugan, right? There's clans that just have no redeeming value whatsoever. The Scorpions play the bad guys, and then they are okay. Like they're actually just doing the thing he's done. Okay,
great hopping Hornetoads. Why are you giving equality to that geisha? Slash.
I really dislike. Okay, so I will point out that these last couple of questions have been some of the interesting ones where you can either raise one of your values, honor or glory or something, or get some skills.
Yeah. Pretty nice.
And so I like those. I like those questions because they you can either be an upstanding citizen or know how to do things because that's the system we've created in Rokugan.
Yeah.
Number 9. What is your character's greatest accomplishment so far?
Well, so far, Django is particularly proud of her ability to demonstrate the rites and rituals of these foreign gods to her school leaders to demonstrate their usefulness and anything that could be salvaged or integrated from their customs into the clans to help them grow stronger. And that she was able to accomplish because she has precise memory.
You,
Pretty cool.
I have the same thing.
Oh no! Should I tell you guys now that I have only roughed out the upcoming session so that I don't know what you're going to remember yet?
Okay.
That's fine.
Great. Yeah. Has she gotten some level of notoriety in her clan over this? At least amongst her school, maybe?
Notoriety might not be a terrible word for it. She has 50 glory.
Okay. Okay, yeah,
which is-
that's fairly high for a starting character, yeah.
For a starting character, yeah. So she's made a name for herself with her study of this. It might not necessarily turn out to be a good name just yet, but people are aware of her
We'll find
existence.
out. We'll find out. We'll find out how effective those demons in your bag are. What holds your character back the most in life? Please say demons.
It is, well, could be demons. But if it is, they chose to manifest in the fact that she does not look like the average Rokugani. She has a dark brown skin tone, and she has bright red hair. That is very much not the way that every other Rokugani looks, and it really just upsets people. She has a disturbing countenance.
I don't like it.
I didn't think you would.
Sure. She keeps putting souls back into objects, so I think we can safely say that particular problem is not an issue. It's hair's red from blood magic. Why am I reading chat? I should stop this. Okay, so what activity makes your character feel at peace?
Oddly enough, it is fortune telling. She feels that her study of all these extra deities and subjects that are outside of the clan kind of gives her like a little bit of an air of moral authority in some matters, and she likes to dispense sagely advice whenever people ask her, and sometimes she likes to tell fortunes as another way to have people listen to her.
Okay. She likes telling fortunes. Okay. Cool. What concern, fear, or foible troubles your character the most?
She has a temper. She has a bad temper.
You went with giving the redhead a temper? That happened?
Yeah, I did. So what? Whenever she feels that she's not being given the amount of consideration that her ideas might merit, she kind of loses her cool a little bit. And that kind of takes one of two forms. Either she goes on like an insult spree, and she belittles anybody around her for perceived faults, or she just kind of treats everything around her as beneath her attention and just doesn't engage with anything.
Especially coming from the Iuchi clan, that's a really interesting, because the Iuchis are like the be friendly to everyone.
Yeah.
Towards your clan, so that's a really fun.
Yeah, like I said, she's not the straightest Bushido arrow.
Yeah, I see that. That's cool. It's interesting that would probably fall under like compassion or also like part of her like goal is to like be super compassionate and spread good vibes throughout the world by planting totems.
Yeah. So her specific anxiety disadvantage is ferocity.
Oh, good. Is she part Matsu? Is that a thing?
We'll have to play to find out.
Okay.
I kind of think that like most of the rest of the questions are just kind of window dressing that'll come up as they go.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, that got us through basically the mechanical stuff. There's who was your character named to honor? Yeah, we can probably cut through the rest of these. I I I do want to talk about the last one, just because
Oh,
I like that it's a
how I
thing.
think I'm going to die.
Character
Yeah.
die. Question 20.
Yep. How I think I'm going to die. Honestly, Jongro doesn't care how she's going to die because she's prepared to undergo as many spins on the celestial wheel as necessary to hold all gods in judgment.
So aiming low then.
Yeah, aiming
Okay.
low.
Okay. Um. Yeah. No,
And
it's a very
and
interesting.
in case it might come up, there's one bit for question 18 that might be relevant. Who's your character named to honor? She was named for an ancestor who created a daisho of particularly interesting beauty. It uses a whole bunch of foreign materials for the scabbard and hilt. It's very recognizable, and it gives her a little bit extra glory and some smithing skills.
Does she have the daisho, or did it get gifted away? Is it sitting in a
It
daimyo's
is
house somewhere?
it is currently in her family's holding, yes, because
Okay.
she's not. It's
Yeah.
too valuable to just kind of give to this young girl.
Well, does she carry a katana?
No, she has a wakizashi, and
This is appropriate.
Yeah, a spear,
as is
right?
appropriate.
Because of unicorn.
No, she does not have a spear. She has a kusarigama because she's
Okay.
not. Yeah, she's not conventional.
Is that the chain
Part.
thing?
Yep, that's the chain
She's
sickle.
part ninja. Yeah. She's part ninja. Okay.
She's a
Cool.
3-5 fighter, is what I'm hearing.
Potentially.
She's a spike chain. She's a spike chain
Yeah.
fighter. Cool.
And that's about her in a nutshell. So
Cool. Great. Well, thank you. That's all. Yeah, and then so through all those choices and all that stuff, you picked up your stats, your skills, your advantages, your disadvantages, along with a bunch of backstory. So that's cool. All right. How are Ichiro and Katsuki here doing?
Through the first 13 questions.
You want to go?
Sure.
Let's talk about our token scorpion here.
Wow.
Oh.
That's not. You can't use that word for them. That's their word.
Their word.
So yeah, I'm a member in good standing of the Scorpion Clan, which affords me an additional point in Air Ring and Skullduggery because we're just so lovable that we never do anything untoward.
Yes. Air ring is the knowing stuff and lying ring for those who don't know.
And I maxed it out by question 2. Which is to say,
for starting characters, yeah, because of the 3. Yeah.
Which gets me to question 2, which is what family to which family do you belong? Which is the Soshi family, which gives me additional Air Ring and also design and theology. I attended the Bayushi Manipulator Community College, which got me Void and Fire. And then for skills, Courtesy, Sentiment, another point in Skullduggery, another point in Design, and Unarmed Martial Arts.
Oh.
I get 2 Shuji for having attended that. Lord Bayushi's Whispers, which I haven't actually read yet. And Rustling of Leaves, which is like creating rumors that have no source. Where could that rumor have come from?
That's fun.
Okay. Bayushi's Whispers is pretty much you make a check to find an informant. You got spotted.
That's great because my character stood out within the school through self-awareness, insight, and/or mysticism, which is the Void.
Yeah.
My duty to my lord is that I am the spy master for unnamed person, so my filler name is Hank Scorpion. Because Simpsons reference.
Choice. Excellent. Yes.
The thing that I long for is to serve the Emperor directly. So I too am aiming low.
Okay.
I too am aiming super low. I have a firm belief in what the Scorpion stands for. So that's another 5 glory.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the Scorpion's interpretation of Bushido, which is to say duty all day, all night.
If you want to work for the Emperor, that's pretty much the gig.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, do you have a great accomplishment?
I've been running my lords. So I've been running Hank Scorpion's spy network since I was 9. And like
Okay.
the first like sort of few years were behind the scenes and through cat's paws and whatnot, and then I just officially took over the role once I was done at community college.
So this is like an extracurricular that you were doing
Yeah,
while you were
and what
in
really helped
fifth
was having a
grade.
precise memory.
Yep.
What's holding me back most in life is that I'm blackmailed by whoever Mike is playing.
That doesn't
Perfect.
sound terribly honorable.
An activity that makes my character feel at peace is curiosity, so discovering new mysteries and really just feeding that insatiable memory of mine.
Okay.
The concern,
Cool.
fear, or foible troubles me the most is paranoia because Spy Master in Scorpion who wants to work for the Emperor. That's probably actually
Yeah.
uh, who has my character learned the most from during their life. I've got Sensei Ren Bayushi, which gives me the advantage of blackmail on Mike,
Yes.
and it also gave me the disadvantage. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this one first or second, but functionally the second disadvantage I took is a fractured spine. So I'm not very good at like doing things.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm
That rank in unarmed melee is going to be super useful then, huh?
right. Well,
So
I
Mostly
when
going to
somebody
use it to put his back into place.
exactly.
you and half.
Mechanically, the disadvantage for injured spine or wherever it is run off to. You have suffered major trauma to the spine and harsh impacts cause you to be shot through with agonizing pain. You can only lift and carry half the weight of someone that your strength normally could.
Okay.
When you make a check to resist harm or exhaustion, you must choose and reroll 2 dice showing success or exploding success results.
Cool.
What is your Earth ring, by the way, for that lifting question?
My total rings are 3 air, 3 void, 2 fire, 1 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm a fragile boy.
Are. And then, yeah, I think the rest will probably, like we talked with Kyle, will probably come out in the actual play if
Mhm.
it's useful. Yeah. No, that's great. You are a major back injury. How did that happen, by the way? Is there a story to that at all, or?
I mean, I think I was just like a shitty, ambitious, like definitely going to be a ninja because Ichiro is the first son.
Oh,
So I was definitely going to be a ninja. And then like I was climbing something or whatever as a kid before I was, disciplined or anything. And yeah, slip, crunch, snap.
awesome. Okay.
You're Charles Xavier, but a dick.
I mean, but you repeat yourself?
Also that, yes. Okay. Great. How is your Kitsuki going here?
That went way faster than I thought it was going to, guys.
Oh no.
I kind of went sprinting through that, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Andrew was pushing tempo, yeah, a little bit.
So I'll tell you where I am. You guys can help me get to the last few steps.
Mhm.
So first off, my character is a member of the Dragon Clan,
Mhm.
which grants me 1 fire ring, 1 meditation skill, and 30 status. Secondly, I'm a member of the Katsuki family, or I was born to the Katsuki family, which grants me air, government, and sentiment. Why are we rolling 2d20? Okay.
Sorry, I rolled 2d10 for question 17? 18? 18. Which is figure out who your samurai heritage is, and that gives you a bonus.
Okay. So the next question is, what school did you go to, I believe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm assuming you went to the Kitsuki school.
Yeah. I mean, there are two
Katsuki.
schools for Dragon, so I'm going to
Yeah.
go ahead and be a Katsuki Investigator School. I was sold on this by being a sword courtier, courtier.
Mhm.
So I dig that. So my original idea was like, yeah, courtier with a sword, I can talk and stuff. But the fun thing about this so far is that I don't have a lot of talky abilities. So from Katsuki Investigator School, I took one air, one water as required. And then for my 5 different skills, I took culture, government to double up on government from earlier, martial arts melee because, hey, I was supposed to be a sword guy,
Poor guy,
uh,
yeah.
sentiment to double up on sentiment, and skullduggery because I think that's great. And yeah, you gotta know how to catch criminals by learning about the underworld.
Exactly. Okay. Okay,
Um,
cool.
Is that where
What
you
else?
got your info on me?
Probably. I took striking as air for my kata and shallow waters for my shuji. I don't know what shallow waters does because I haven't read that far yet.
2
Shallow waters lets
seconds.
you read people, I think, more effectively. And you just get an
Um,
opportunity to learn things about them. Maybe
Yes.
what they want most, something like that. Yeah.
You can spend 1 opportunity to learn 1 material item or worldly experience they desire, and 2 opportunities to learn their ninja.
nice. Cool. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
What's Ninja?
So Ninja is the thing that they are that they're trouble effectively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, their heart's desire that's going to get them in trouble, essentially.
Right.
Awesome.
The other cool thing about the Kitsuke investigators, which may or may not be coming up pretty soon when we start this thing, is that they are unique in Rokugan in that they care about what actually happened and chains of evidence and other things about investigations.
Right, and
Um,
that is also effectively my duty and my desire, right? Because and kind of jumping ahead here, but so the Katsuki method means that I use effectively the scientific method to figure out what happened, what's going on. I'm more interested in the proof of a thing that occurred as opposed to just um, the testimony of theoretically honorable samurai or whomever.
mhm.
And I don't trust that because I don't trust people because they all have something to hide. Um, right.
And
Uh,
sentiments.
So
Yes.
following that, I picked up adaptability, friendliness, or awareness for what makes me stand out. It's not actually friendliness, right? I'm just I get along with people in order to figure out why they lie or what they're lying about because everybody lies.
Okay.
And so for honor and glory, what is my duty, my lord? I figured that. Um, so the kind of investigator type is a magistrate, right?
Probably.
So I figured that would fit this character concept the best so far.
Um, yeah. So I will be asking you guys some questions about how you wound up where we are. And I will note that a lone dragon, the countryside, is kind of odd. Not normal. Dragon don't really leave Dragonlands unless there's something going on. So we'll come back to that, and it probably will wind up tying into your duty to your lord.
Because
I would
I
assume at
think
some point.
I'm probably either outcast or nobody really wants me around.
I don't.
That would be interesting, actually. Yeah.
Because my character is what's the phrase I'm looking for? Ninja, the desire, is to kind of like
Yeah.
root out other people's secrets.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh. I could see there being 1 or 2 fairly big secrets that the dragon don't want you finding out in
right.
the dragon. Yes.
And that coupled with like I figure that the hypocrisy, right, is that my character has some sort of super hidden secret that they don't want anyone to find out about, um, and yet they are super driven to determine like what the other people are. What are they hiding? Like,
Okay.
um,
Okay.
yeah,
That's the thing that's convinced you that everyone has a deep dark secret is the fact that you have
right.
a deep dark secret. I
I've
like it.
got that thing that I cannot let other people find out about, and because of that, if I'm hiding that, then there must be heinous people. Everyone else must be heinous too.
All
Oh
of
yes.
these other worse people must clearly be much worse than you.
Like this
Nice.
blood magic using unicorn, like I'm sure they say that I'm using dolls or whatever to cast this magic, but no, I know the truth. You left Rokugan, you must have picked up Maho, and the only
It's
real reason that you have this power is because you made a pact with the kami.
The fact that you're also like half Kuni as well as being a Kitsugi, you're like clearly everyone else must burn.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
So that's kind of like what my Giri and Ninja are. I figure that
Um,
I am a member in good standing, or I believe in my clan. Whether I'm not a member in good standing is two separate things entirely.
okay.
But I have a negative opinion of Bushido.
What for? What's the downside here?
For Bushido,
Yeah. What do
yeah,
you think? What do you think's wrong
I
with
think
Bushido?
people are always covering stuff up in the name of honor, and that's ultimately going to be the downfall of all of our people. We can't just continue sweeping things under the rugs in order to maintain a pretty face, when behind the scenes there's blood magic and corruption,
yeah, you're an
and
outcast.
all this horrible stuff going on. I am also engaging in.
That's pretty aggressive and non-navel gazy for the dragon. So I can definitely see like, yeah, let's just put this guy on the road, see what goes on. It's fine.
Let's see what he can learn? Question mark. Just get him out of here.
Yeah, just like go travel. We'll call it your Genpuku. Just go travel the empire, learning things. Yes.
And I picked up another rank of skullduggery.
Oh, good. So that's two.
Yeah,
You're as
Two
skulldugger as
sentiment,
I
two
am.
skullduggery. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm gonna have
What are
two
your
earth, two
rings?
water, two government, two sentiment, two skullduggery at this point. So for strengths and weakness, I haven't figured out how exactly this plays in for 9, but I was looking at ambidextrous, but that doesn't really fit my character. So I was thinking famously honest
I
or
was tempted
infamously
to take
honest.
that one. I was so tempted to take that
That's
one.
okay. So that'd be really funny on the Scorpion. But I could. So you're like, okay. So you're the investigator that never tells a lie.
Right.
Tells it exactly how he sees it all the time, except for that one thing that you will never tell anyone about.
Right.
Everyone knows that your
That's not
word can be
important.
taken on its face, even in a world that relies on half-truths and double-speaks to avoid ruffling feathers. That's the
Okay,
wording of famously honest.
Right.
that will
And
be a
it
very
kind of winds up
interesting.
with my character. I figure it's more infamously honest. Um, and then the next one is what holds your character back the most in life? And I haven't found the answer for that question, but I know what I want it to be, right?
Okay,
That hidden horrible secret, um, like I engage in activities that the other samurai would find abhorrent, not like blood magic, right? But um, I don't know,
like
one of
not
these,
like voodoo dolls or anything that's really bad, but like
right?
yeah.
But some sort of like sentimental thing, or like uh, an ancestor spirit haunts you. Huh.
Yeah, I was looking at that one. There's a lot of good stuff in here.
Yeah.
Deep dark secret, right? Without getting into the details of it, because that I don't want to do that. But is this a thing that other people like? Are you the only person that knows this, or are there other people that know this, and that's sort of why you've been shuffled out of your homelands?
I feel like I feel like I've been sent out because of overcompensating for this issue.
Okay, so it's not
Right.
direct, but it definitely influenced. It's your behavior is why you left, and your behavior is because of this thing. But nobody else has ever drawn the lines, right? Nobody's ever
Right.
like, oh, he did this terrible thing.
Like no one um, is going to believe that I am engaging in these horribly illicit acts because look at how virtuous this person is.
Okay. Another question, and again, I don't really want details. Is this an ongoing thing or a thing that happened and no longer happened?
Like a relationship I have to keep hidden would be the sort of thing that would fall into this category, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
You're kind of covering your mic, Mike.
Oh
But
shit! Sorry, I'm used to my mic being in a usable
is
place.
that if it was a relationship, is that ongoing or did it happen in a discrete point and then you've sort of been emotionally paying for it ever since?
I think that if Ichiro has blackmail information over me, then it possibly is ongoing, right?
I mean, it could just be a single shameful event.
Bad, it could just be the one thing.
Yeah.
Especially if you've built if you've got this reputation built up as like straight arrow, no lie, upstanding citizen dude.
So we have blackmail on each other. What if it's the same thing?
What would our same thing be though?
I mean, Strangers on a Train comes to mind. I was a spy master. I don't know.
Strangers on the Train means.
I kill someone interfering in your life and you kill someone interfering in mine because I don't move in your circles, then the murder that I committed can't be traced back to me because I have no motive. But I mean, yeah, let's leave it undefined.
Definitely that. I definitely don't want it to be.
But like, yeah, I think it's like Strangers on a Train in that we each did a favor for the other person.
But I don't know what that adversity is going to translate to. Does that, you understand? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what I put down on the piece of paper for that.
Zach, you're not coming through.
Who?
Hmm?
Hello?
Zach's not coming through on Discord.
Womp womp.
Yep.
It's
Yeah, there
like,
you go. You did a thing. Do the thing that you just did to your ear again.
am I back?
Yep.
God damn
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was weird. Yeah. So, okay. The next, there's steps for customizing outbursts. Like when your strife gets high enough, what will you do? Although I think I can pretty much, I can put a good guess in for at least two of these characters, and probably the third one. Although my idea for the Scorpion might be too subtle, so I'm not sure.
What's your idea?
Because I think our dragon investigator just tells someone a truth they don't want to know.
So you do Ugly
you
Truth
don't
from
know.
Burning Wheel.
Exactly, it's ugly truth. And then I think we've already established that our witch doctor has a temper, so she probably just goes off.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the Scorpion would do. So you can be thinking about that, and then I will sort of set our scene a little bit in terms of, because one of the things about L5R is that it's all about context. While you can sort of, and I do, and I am, you just sort of like take a slice of the setting, and it's always sort of the same, right? Phoenix are always off doing Phoenix things, and Crab are always off doing Crab things, and all these things. But there are specific events that sort of change how one or two clans interact with each other and that sort of thing. And so important and pertinent event that's going on right now in the story is a thing called the Five Rings Heresy. Is anyone here familiar with this?
Familiar with Horace's.
It's not quite the Horus Heresy.
Okay.
So, original version of this was back before the Unicorn came back, but we're time shifting it forward a ways so the Unicorn can be involved.
Yay.
So there was a monk, a monk that sort of rose from humble beginnings, as do basically all monks. That's sort of the story, right? And became the advisor, sort of a spiritual advisor to the emperor and thus to the empire as a whole, that had an interesting thought about the fact that there were 6, actually 7 clans at the time, great clans, and only 5 rings. And how the empire kept getting its face wrecked by outside forces over and over again because there was an imbalance, and what we actually need is 1 clan, 1 ring, right? There needed to be an earth clan and a water clan and an air clan, a void clan and a fire clan. At the time, because the unicorn were gone, this guy presented the idea that the crab were the earth clan. Clearly, they're basically Rokuguani dwarves. They have a wall, they stand on it, they make things. The lion and the unicorn were water clans, because they both moved around a lot and followed the flow of things. Rokugani theology is very weird sometimes, but this monk used the fact that the unicorn had left the empire as proof that they sensed the imbalance and were trying to fix it by just going away, right? The dragon were the clan of fire. They lived up in the mountains with the volcanoes and stoked their inner fires of enlightenment. The phoenix were the void clan because they were the closest to all of the elements, because they have all the Shugenja to do the things. And that left air 2 clans. Crane and the Scorpion. And so basically what he was proposing is combining the Crane and Scorpion clans to undo the imbalance essentially to balance the force, right? We need to bring balance to the force. There's too many air clans. Let's just make the Scorpion and the Crane the same clan, and it'll bring balance to all these things. Obviously, the Scorpion and the Crane hated this idea. Hated it, right? And the fact that they were the 2 strongest, like, courtier negotiation, ruin somebody's reputation with the word clans is the only reason that it didn't happen. They spent years and years fighting this idea, right? Lion were super on board because they hate both the Crane and the Scorpion. Screw those guys. The Crab were super on board because they hate both the Crane and the Scorpion. Screw those guys. The Dragon didn't think it was a great idea, mostly because they had Tagashi still alive telling them it wasn't, but nobody's supposed to know that. Phoenix thought it was a great idea because they hate both the Crane and the Scorpion. Screw those guys. And this is sort of how it broke out, right? The Unicorn didn't really have an opinion. The Unicorn did, when the Unicorn left, when the Kirin left, they left behind a small minor clan called the Fox, which were basically the unicorns that didn't want to leave. So they became a minor clan. They sort of watched the outer mountains, waiting for the unicorn to come back. And they kept getting asked about what the unicorns' thoughts would be on this, and they're like, no, we're not talking, no.
And Zach, what did the fox say?
The fox said nothing. The fox was up in the forest saying nothing. Studiously saying nothing. Eventually, the guy who was pushing this founds an order of monks. That order of monks takes over burial rights for the entire empire. And then he dies, and then everybody's like, no, well, that just didn't happen, so that's fine, right? Um, we are going to be moving this whole scenario up probably to the 9th century or so, after the unicorn have come back in and been somewhat established. So, in my scenario here, somewhere in the Empire, this guy, Garino, is preaching, and the Emperor is listening, that the Scorpion and Crane clans should be combined into one crane of air. He proposed the Hawk clan as the combination name. And then also, because the unicorn are now around, that the unicorn and lion should be into one single clan. I have to imagine the unicorn. I would point out that the unicorn in general are the most open to new ideas of all the clans.
And you would get along great with those southern sheriffs. They're very open-minded.
The unicorn and lion, like, because the unicorn basically brought back heavy cavalry. Like, they left and they brought back essentially like Mongol and or European style cavalry, and now that's in the Empire. And the lion hates that because they can't do that, and the unicorn hates the lion because the lion keeps fighting them about the horses. Right? It would not be a good marriage. But the unicorn are, like I said, traditionally the most open to new ideas. So I don't know exactly how, as a clan, they would come down on this. The lion would be like, no. Caveat that if they could just absorb the unicorn clan, which they might try to do, then they would be into it. So that's probably where that comes down. Scorpions are like, no, it's a terrible idea.
But we're all lying.
So that's sort of the larger setting set dressing. This guy's got the ear of the Emperor. He's preaching this idea that we should just like start combining clans. It's like the plan that I pitch occasionally, where we just combine the square states out west until we hit a decent size, and we give those people 2 senators. This is what he wants to do with the clans. And people are not having it. So
that sounds like a good idea to me.
That as a dragon, you probably can make up your own mind about it. At the same time, the dragon, and this is why I thought I wanted to sort of figure out what was going on with you being alone out in the Empire. Tagashi sent out a bunch of dragon samurai to try to keep monks from beating on each other over this idea, because the various orders of monks thought it was either a great idea or a terrible idea, and they kept getting into fights, which is very un-monk-like behavior. Yeah. And so they sent out a bunch of dragon samurai to basically stand between groups of monks and be like, we should talk this out, you guys. We're actually bros. Hold on. So
I would swear a safe thing, but okay. I'm kidding. Sorry.
So that could be why you're out here. It sounds like you got sent out otherwise for other reasons, but that is one reason you could be out in the Greater Empire, was to deal with that. Yes, you can swim. I have no idea. Can you swim?
Not physically, but I have people to do the swimming for me.
I have a team of ninja with reed. What is it called?
Yep. Snorkels.
Snorkels, just like carrying me through the water.
Not even
Did
that.
You spend
just
time
like
in Dragonlance or in a boat.
Possibly.
I can swim, metaphorically. Please keep me away from water.
Yeah.
I can swim, but I actually dissolve in water.
That's Maha. Burn him.
Okay, so
says the heretic.
Sort of construction of the larger political environment makes sense. Can you see the implications there?
Yeah.
Are probably people from your clans that want this dude dead and may not be willing to do it themselves, but would not cry if it happened, right? So that's the thing. The other thing that so for our individual story is that the Otomo daimyo has died. Is the highest ranking or the second highest ranking probably of the imperial families. They're not a great clan, but they are one of the groups of hangers-on in the capital that wields a lot of power, right?
Mhm.
Mio has died, which means that they're going to go through the whole rigmarole after the after the Battle of Empty Graves. Now, Rokugani deaths are cremated. That's the burial ritual now, so that they don't get zombies anymore. And in the Order of Five Rings, the Five Rings heresy guy oversees all of that in the Empire, right? Or at least teaches people how to do it. Right now, that's kind of the process going on. So big important Otomo dude dies. They're going to be cremating him in a ceremony. Because he's so important, each of the great clans sends a envoy to the Otomo Castle, which is sort of up in the is up on a hill, sort of surrounded by plains outside the Otosan Uchi, the capital. Some reason, and you guys can tell me why your clan would do this. Your clan sent you.
I mean,
Master, a witch doctor, and Doctor House, the investigator.
I can't fathom a reason why they would send a gaijin-looking motherfucker.
Can I posit something?
Yeah.
The unicorns strike me as slightly hippie.
Depends on the family.
I mean,
well, they do have witch doctors, so
yeah, so just
what's your homeopathy here, pal?
Someone got real baked and just you.
I figure the unicorn probably sent a proper envoy, and then they kind of just stumbled onto me doing my good luck charm bullshit in the wilderness, and I was like, "Hey, can I come?"
Yeah.
Like, sure. Fuck it. What are you gonna do?
So, no, it has to be you and only you. But I will posit. I will present an option that you might not think about right away.
Hit me.
Certain people, that means you're being friendly. You send not important people.
Yes.
That means screw you, dead guy, and family of dead guy. Also remember that the unicorn are generally fairly strange. And Shugenja are, by their nature, fairly important figures in the Empire, even if they're just newbies starting out Shugenja with weird hair. So if they sent you, think about all the other things that you could be playing or could be doing right now with your ability to speak to spirits and make magical rocks, right?
Yeah.
You're doing all sorts of things. So instead, they sent you, and also your clan, the Iuchi. Your clan for the unicorn.
Yes, we are the magic talkers.
Let's be friends, clan of the unicorn.
Also, that true. I just walk up to his I walk up to his coffin or whatever they store him in before they cremate him. And I just go, "I made you this magic rock. Give you good vibes on the other side."
It's the green quartz to heal him.
Yeah.
I want to avoid session where the word quartz comes up in a healing context.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me this time.
I appreciate that. Yeah, sure. They probably want to send me along because I'm very well versed in, burial. Why do I keep saying fucking burial? They're probably well versed in death rites and can offer some kind of measure of final calm to the family.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, is there any kind of foul play suspected, or is this just he was an old dude who had natural causes?
He was an old dude. He was he was pretty old. It's unlikely that there was foul play. Um,
All right, so yeah, that's, I mean, just kind of like some measure of way to move on and help heal start the grieving process, and then also I figure I can probably plant one of my good luck charms somewhere.
you might have been out on the road doing that anyway, and you were just sort of nearby. So they're like, "Yeah, let's send that
Yeah.
person."
Yeah, that checks out. That works for me.
Cool. What about Ichiro and Kitsuki? Why would they send you? And why would they send you alone, Mister Broken Back Ninja Master Man?
I
Just
mean,
penance.
well, so question 17 is how would your character's parents describe them? And because
Okay.
I was supposed to be some badass ninja that I can never be, the answer to that question is a disappointment.
You can say a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
Have been your brother.
Yeah.
Is that how it was? Okay.
Well, yeah, and so like, I like named elder son and like yeah, so I'm here to see if I can at least stumble into a grave with this fucker, or failing that, like recruit some people, basically.
Okay. Okay. And so, did you put yourself on the guest list?
Yeah.
Your connections?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also want to tell you that my answer to question 20, how should your character die, is a well executed ambush.
All right. Something you didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Like it. Not drowning because you can swim.
Exactly. It's an innate talent in all scorpion, with one water ring and no labor or anything else.
Every time I come back to the scorpions can swim thing, I'm like, but the frog. Why did you need the frog?
Because we're lazy?
Because body count.
Well, yeah. Well, like, so yeah, the scorpion and the frog, and then the scorpion stings the frog, and the frog drowns, and it's like, but we're both gonna die, and the scorpion's like, yeah, but I can swim, motherfucker. Boop boop. Jung. That's basically the story.
The tail spins
Yeah.
and it just forward. All
But
right,
no, it's because why do half the work when you can get an expendable mark to do it?
scorpion way of thinking. All right, Kitsuki investigator person. Why are you here? Were you just wandering by and they needed a dragon representative, or
Do you
looking into
suspect
the
foul play?
were you looking into the death because you're like, no, jet fuel can't melt steel katanas, and I need to be here checking this out. The truth will out.
The truth is in there looking at the casket.
I think I'm actually investigating the air.
Okay. That'll be
I'm
fun.
not saying that there was foul play necessarily, but perhaps they're not fit to inherit.
Okay. So you're not just investigating them for the fact they might have killed their way into the big chair. You're investigating for the fact that maybe they're just kind of a loser and shouldn't be there in the first place.
More not. I'm not necessarily a loser, but more that. Yeah, I mean they stand to inherit and rule, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so somebody got to keep those fuckers in check, right?
I really hope that we find like a dog clan that didn't bark, and you're just like, there's the smoking gun.
Okay. All right. So you invited yourself, and then the Dragon Clan's like, "Yep, that's our rep. That's the person we're sending."
Yeah, but I mean, so much can still go wrong. It seems like a terrible idea to send me.
Thing though, man, they're just gonna like let the chips fall, dude.
And
That's
it's a terrible idea to send any one of us.
Yeah.
What did this guy do to deserve this?
bearing
Die.
in mind that
Honest.
a lot of the imperial families aren't super well thought of in general.
Okay.
A lot of the great clans sort of think of them as leeches on the throne that stand between them and power, essentially. Clans like the Crane and the Lion pay lip service to them and like this stuff, but a lot of other clans just like, yeah, screw those guys. They're basically just rich people that don't do anything or make things better for anyone. So we don't care.
So the rich people.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Cool. It is 10:15, quarter after 10. You guys want to call a quick bio break, and we will convene in a couple minutes.
Sure.
First strides into
Suddenly
Otomo
wishing
Uchi.
I had a hold screen, but I can probably whip something up quickly.
Sweep.
Mm-hmm.
Sure whether my wife went to bed without taking the dogs with her, but I have a small freight train dog sitting to my right, wheezing at me.
Can't hear it on the stream, so.
Good, I'm glad because it's super loud.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you? And you figure out what's going on with this guy, and then we'll be ready to hopefully do voices to impersonate
Mm-hmm.
landed aristocracy. It's not completely ridiculous.
The gentry.
Mm-hmm. Probably wanted to do like the stupid continental Ivana Trump accent a
Oh,
lot.
God. I mean, as long as it isn't Japanese space Sarah Palin.
Hi, y'all. Oh, bless your heart.
That's a good font size, right? No, that's too big. If you like what you've seen so far of that D&D podcast, we put up all of our VODs on YouTube, and I'm basically just going to fill time while other people go off and use the bathroom and also practice my vaguely ASMR voice. Yeah, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/thatdndpodcast. I can see that Mike is still around. Thank you for the show of solidarity, Michael.
Hey, can you roll me a d10? I'll pick whatever you pick, and then we'll do my thing I'm named after.
What's up?
Roll me a d10, bro.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm not gonna roll 2. I'm just gonna have you roll 1. What do we got?
I got an 8.
I'm not named for stolen knowledge.
Nice.
Increase your honor by 5. Yay.
I got, basically someone who lived my perfect life, which is kind of funny. They really advanced the house or the clan, which cost me some glory, but got me a skill. I don't understand why that would cost me glory, but I guess maybe I just don't stack up as well. That'd be kind of funny.
Can you roll me another 10?
Mm-hmm. 5.
Thank God it wasn't a 10. That would have been perfect if it was. 10 is motto.
So what is Maho?
Blood magic.
Oh,
Verboten.
neat. I'm actually going to look up the translation of that.
What?
Of Maho.
Blood, I think, isn't it? Or just bad? That can't be right.
Which?
Looked up the translation of Maho, and the first thing that Google gave me was Full Sail.
Okay.
Possible.
I didn't think it was a real word.
Yeah.
I mean, it's used in conjunction with stuff sometimes, but anyways.
Was it? Alright.
Because like Maho Shouju is magical girl, which is like a whole genre of anime.
It's just
So maybe it's just magic. Anyways,
so.
you're doing that thing where your mic cuts out a bunch.
Yeah.
Also, we're back.
Yay!
Hey, Makoto is what's her face? Persona 5, right?
Makoto,
About now.
Funky
Is it
Soul
better?
Brother.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm totally changing that name. Apparently, I'm playing a lady now.
What's up?
Right?
You're cutting out a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Really bad?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what I can do about that.
You're
Maybe
doing better now,
distance.
actually.
Really?
Yeah. So when we
okay.
talk about your mic being broken, your mic works.
All right.
Like,
Well, let me know what happens again. It's possible that I just drop volume a
Yeah.
ways and it doesn't pick up. We'll see. I am ready to go if other people are.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
All right. So, it is sort of that period of, well, it's kind of like it is now, turning into fall, maybe a little bit earlier in the year than this. And it's early afternoon, not mid-afternoon, when you each sort of one by one trickle into this sort of gated castle-looking thing. It is the castle of the Otomo family. It is resplendent in greens and golds. There are traveling here. You had to go through. It was about a day's travel through some of the lushest farmland you've ever seen, especially if you're dragon or scorpion. Um, and the peasants are exactly sort of as you would expect them to be. You see the occasional Otomo family retainers out riding, but your trip along these roads has been fairly uneventful. How are you each getting there? I assume the unicorn is riding. Yes.
Never not.
Okay.
Literally never.
I went through school on this horse.
If it weren't for my horse, wouldn't have spent that year in college.
What about is the dragon riding? Can the dragon ride?
I can't take a boat, can I?
Could probably take a boat here. Probably been on a boat.
Not that I can swim or boat, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm sure samurai, as a samurai within the empire, you have all the technology is feudal Japan-esque. The amount of like coin and pipe that you can swing around is significant, and so I'm sure you could have found your way onto a boat going to Otomouchi. That wouldn't have been a problem. Yeah. And I'm sure that their capital city is built on a really nice river that feeds all their super nice farmland.
I think I
The
walk
boat,
in with a shitty walking stick.
I was gonna say, do you have a walking stick?
I've got a limp. Like the question, what's the first thing someone notices about you is the limp.
So, just to complete the image, I'm not going to ask how you walked over the miles of territory to get here,
Yeah,
and just assume that you like ninja'd into existence right outside visual range of the gate.
I look like hell.
Okay.
Like my traveling clothes are well worn.
Affectation, or is it for real?
50-50.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. So, each of you, as you sort of approach the gate, I assume that you're wearing your clan colors.
Oh yeah.
The fact that you are the thing you are.
Hmm.
It's kind of important. It's sort of like your badge. Follow-up question for the Scorpion,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bayushi.
Mm-hmm.
How much of your face does it cover?
Sorry, you cut out again.
All right. Your mask.
Yep. How much of my face does it cover?
Yeah.
So it's basically
Is
just
it like
eyes.
okay? So you have the Cobra Commander look going on essentially with the
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Well, you are immediately recognized as Scorpion if you are wearing a mask, and makes your way into the outskirts of the city. You are recognized for what you are,
Mm-hmm.
and visiting dignitaries, aka Great Clan Samurai, are immediately taken to the nearest sort of guard post slash welcoming center, and wait here for an appropriate representative of the house to come and claim you and escort you to the the actual manse itself. Do you put up a fight? This is the thing that you're fairly used to, probably.
I
If you've
definitely
traveled much at
milk
all.
the walk like as long as possible. Like, oh, I've been on the road so long, and this limp, it doesn't make it any easier than like. But
Okay.
like, I'm
All
putting
right.
on the like dignified like. Please
Mm-hmm.
just, I appreciate your patience. Is the tack I'm taking? Not like please wait for me so much as just thank you for already doing this thing.
Okay. Okay. Um, so they walk you into this room, and it's fairly well apportioned.
Hmm.
We'll start with Ichiro here. It's fairly well apportioned. It's fairly pretty comfortable. A servant, member of the peasant class, brings in uh, some food and some drink, and doesn't make eye contact. Sets it on the table. You can probably find a comfortable chair, but no one is here to pick you up for right now. After probably half an hour, group of people, same guards that escorted you into this room, bring in a unicorn. At least that's what you assume this person is a unicorn.
They're still on the
Uh,
horse.
They bring in the unicorn. It's a horse with a horn on its
Yeah.
head.
Red hair, just red hair, and a bag
I'm
hanging from its
writing
neck that
something
contains
with my
seeds.
calligraphy set when they come in.
Huh? Yeah. So, Dongo, they have taken your they have your horse is being taken care of. They put it in the stable, and they told you that it will be when you are collected by the family. It will be brought to the manse as is appropriate. Until then, it will stay down here with them. They walk you into this room, the same one that Ichiro is in. Inside, there is a scorpion sitting at a table with a calligraphy set. Um, and they sort of shuffle backward. Your escorts sort of shuffle backwards out of the room and leave the two of you to your thoughts and each other. Um, what do you do?
I immediately want to cast a fortune for this person.
Good. I was going to start with standing and
Immediately.
bowing, but let's just jump right into that.
Yep.
Before Ichiro can even stand up, Django has like slid into the spot across the table, completely oblivious to the calligraphy set that's in the middle, and has begun. How does Django tell fortunes?
She has a couple of different methods. For this particular one, I think she's using sheep knuckles.
Is going to offend some Rokuziani sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Animal bones is a thing. Is she when are you attempting to make small talk? Are you like right to business? Do you say anything, or do you just sit down and call and throw the knuckles on the table?
I'm incredibly taken aback.
As I move to sit down by the scorpion, I say something to the effect of, "There's something on about you. May I? And then without even waiting for a permission, I just kind of start doing my thing.
It would seem that I am in good company.
Oh, only the best. Shook, 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 shook.
Right,
And just like cocking the like jauntiest eyebrow at this display of clearly barbarism.
sneeze.
Oh.
I'm about to sneeze, I think.
Oh,
Look up.
okay.
Maybe not. Okay. Okay. It's gonna sneak up on me any second now.
Yep.
So I would guess if you actually want to like see the bones, if you actually want to see this done, first roll of the game. If you want to roll it out, we can do that.
Why not? Why not do that?
Sounds like an air roll because air is how you know things.
Why
Yes?
do I feel like this is Kyle getting revenge for my shitty doctor in Star Trek?
Not revenge, just equal opportunity suffering. That's,
All right. Do you have an appropriate skill you can roll here?
I have theology or meditation are probably the only ones that I actually have that are relevant.
I think especially with your like background in sort of Gaijin theology, I think that applies. We'll apply
Okay.
theology.
Works for me.
Meditation, I think, is more internal stuff. But yeah.
Cool.
So you roll your ring plus your ring in ring dice and your skill in skill dice.
All right.
Keep total dice equal to your ring.
Okay. So what's the syntax for this then? In here.
You can actually, so if you go to the fourth tab up at the top,
Yeah.
there's the R and there's the S. If you hit
Okay.
that token thing, you'll actually get a set of tokens like for every time you push that button.
Okay.
And then you can like click and drag to select that group.
So if I have a ring of 2 and a skill of 1, I just click the ring token twice and the skill token once.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's
And
do
that'll actually put like physical dice on the Roll20 sheet.
Yeah.
And then you can highlight that area. It'll put them all in the same spots. You can move them around a bit.
Okay, so that's 1 ring die.
Yep.
That's okay.
It's not actually rolling them. This is just the first side.
Oh.
Side one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so once you get the whole pool, you can like select the group, right click,
Yep.
and then multi-sided random side, and that will roll them.
Okay.
Cool.
And this
That's
is
cool.
what we call in the business a hack.
Well, it's a beta.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see what we get.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Let me read it. Okay. So it looks like I got 2 successes, 2 opportunities, and 2 strife.
Yep.
You only get to keep 2 of those dice.
Oh. Well, then.
Yeah. I will tell you this. For 2. Wow.
I didn't even ask, what's the difficulty on this one? I mean, I guess this is like a 1.
Yeah. I mean, telling. So
I think more is just better.
1 is what you need to do to like successfully have read his fortune in sort of like the normal fortune teller way. More is better, and 4 more, I will let you tell me something about him
Oh,
or his future.
good.
For his future?
Great. What's agency?
Okay.
As long as you keep it fairly vague, and I get to interpret how it goes down.
This is
Okay.
fine. This is
This
fine.
is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna drop the opportunity strife die, so I get 2 successes, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
Yeah, give me something fairly vague that could generally be true about a scorpion samurai you just met.
Okay, so she has her crude little bowl that she just flings all of these sheep knuckles into, and she kind of stares at it very still for maybe about 20-25 seconds or so, and then she just looks up at you and she says, without really any kind of context for the words, "You're going to really earn your next physical malady."
Ow!
I've prepared tea. Like I've poured tea because that's like an appropriate social response
It's
to
what
like.
you do.
Well, and like if you're going to be rude, that doesn't like that gets me off the hook for being rude, but I still have to like put on the airs of having been polite.
Mhm.
And I think I'm just my name is Ichiro. It is interesting to meet you.
Goodness
And like
me.
extend
Wow.
the hand
Okay.
across.
I did it again. Very much humbly apologize. My name is Yuchi Jango. It's a very good pleasure to meet you.
And like
Sorry.
just it's this incredibly like weak and soft-handed grip.
Yeah, she takes your hand in a unicorn handshake, which is trying not
Index
to be
finger
too strong.
out.
Yeah, index finger out.
The full like elbow smash. Oh yeah, thing.
And she is very much resisting the urge to like try and do like a quick palm read.
Yeah,
Get the roll.
the handshake is incredibly curt.
Yes. Again, very much apologize. I need to remember that I can't quite do that as freely as I'm accustomed to.
Itsuki, Makoto Kutsugi here. You have been escorted from the docks with sort of the same type of person. Not the same guards. Then the very similar versions. They all sort of blend together after a while. These faceless guard people, and you have been escorted to the same room, just about in time to watch the unicorn sort of wilt under the gaze of this scorpion.
I think I've also like called for more tea because I think if nothing else to like get out of this social situation faster, if the pot isn't empty, I have spilled it.
Okay. Yeah, so there is a serving person standing behind Makoto here at the doorway, waiting for Makoto to enter before, so that they're not like stepping in front of their betters to bring tea.
Alrighty.
So at that point, Soshi, you saw, or Ichiro, you saw this person coming in, and you just sort of.
Oh, I stand bow. Sochi Ichiro.
Ango, this person is behind you while you are stammering out an apology to the scorpion.
Yep, cool.
Yes. Hello.
Oh, hello. It is this awkward.
I'm going for it. And so Ichiro and Makoto, do you know each other by sight?
Me too.
Okay.
I mean, do we?
I think so. I think we have some terrible unspoken history. But like I'm playing it off as though this is the first time we've met.
Okay. So before the extended awkward moment can get any longer, a scuffling of feet behind Makoto, and a more important looking Otomo flanked on either side by more of these guards. He's an older individual, probably in his late 50s, early 60s, still in fairly good shape. Those of you who have been to places like this instantly recognize his gait. This guy is the head of the guard. Like he is that guy, the one that's in charge of the security and guard forces. And he walks up to the three of you, or walks to the doorway, bows. His two flanks do not bow. He bows, and he looks you over sort of in turn, starting with the dragon, then sort of scorpion, and then the unicorn, and collects himself before too long, sort of in the same breath. They informed me and you can sort of hear the sarcasm, but sort of disdain and something else in his voice. Um, we were told that you're here. Come to
Louder.
Alice immediately. Please follow me.
Okay.
So
Turn.
I will brush by the other two and lead.
I take up the rear. I am not moving quickly. I am milking this limp.
The one of the guardsmen will slowly drift back from the pack with you.
Yep.
As this person, as the captain of the guard here gets more and more like visibly agitated. Like more so than even just like the frustration of moving slowly in this instance, because these Otomo, whatever else they are, like they might be arrogant bastards, but they are still like diplomatic and would definitely play off the fact that there's no problem here. This is totally normal. Except this guy's not doing that. There's something about the way he's moving that he is exasperated and not happy.
How can
So
I continue to needle him until I discover what's up? Or can I like try to intuit what's up?
absolutely. Are you talking to him? Are you observing him?
I probably am apologizing like more profusely than is like overly to this guard
Okay.
who has fallen back, and like I'm very sorry, like it's an old injury and I thought I'd beaten it, but the walk here was
Yeah.
probably more than anticipated, and I do apologize for this inconvenience, and just like leaning hard on that walking stick.
Yeah, that's great. That sounds like you're essentially lying to him and attempting to manipulate him. So that sounds like an air roll.
Mm-hmm. Is this
Works in this
courtesy?
situation. What?
Is this courtesy?
Ooh, maybe demanding courtesy. Like, are you subtly demanding that he like follow protocols and help you like walk up this hill?
Well, I'm being incredibly courteous in a dishonest manner.
I'm not sure whether that's how that works or not, but I'll allow it for now, and
I
we'll
mean,
come back
there's
to it.
let's see here, because it's under skills, social skill group, command, courtesy.
You're tricking him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trick approach is error. Convincing someone of something untrue. Deflecting attention from yourself onto others. I'm doing the opposite of that.
But still, I mean, it's you're deflecting. Yeah, you are demanding attention. I feel like it works. It still works. Yeah.
All right, so let's roll these 5 bones. Keep 3 of them. I like that exploding success, and I like that original flavor success. And I think I'll take a strife for that opportunity.
Okay.
And then I'll re-roll that exploder and get another success. So that's 3 success, 1 opportunity, 1 strife.
This dude, and I think I'm actually supposed to be telling you the difficulties before we roll, so please call me on that.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. I forgot, and we're new system, so you're supposed to know the difficulties beforehand unless I decide not to, in which case you get stuff from me.
Okay.
So this guy's pretty weak-willed. 1 success will get you in his head and making him do things.
Yeah.
For 3 successes and an opportunity, let's look at the air opportunities on that
I
stuff.
just recruited him.
Oh God! Like, did you slip him a card? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Fact that their air opportunities call out is that you can learn skill ranks that someone has. I don't know how useful that actually is in this situation. opportunity. Let's just say that this character, this guard,
Mm-hmm.
who I now need to come up with a name for, probably is feeling super responsible for your well-being. Like you have totally taken this kid into your
Yeah.
into your circle. Like he's not an agent, not a cat's paw yet, but he's like primed at this point. Um, and for your successes, he is as he is sort of trying to help you along. I sort of under his breath, hoping that nobody else hears. I'm very sorry. The captain is very uh, right now. There's what with his brother's death, and then there's been this other incident at the monastery. There's a whole
I
a whole
definitely
lot of
press
things.
him on that other incident.
You, I'm not supposed to tell you because you're gonna find out soon anyway. But monk that was here to help us send send the daimyo back onto the wheel. He has been found in his chambers. Uh,
You cut out at the perfect
Yeah.
times there.
Yeah, I know.
Yes!
That's great.
Found in his
the,
chambers.
the,
naked?
Found in his chambers in perfect health.
yes, found in his chambers and everything was fine. He was actually doing Zumba. Um,
It's this hot new craze the unicorns brought back recently.
You're welcome.
no, he has been found dead in his chambers.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yes.
I want to point out that a target number 1 air command check is convincing an inexperienced soldier that they will likely survive the coming battle.
That's great. That was gonna get some use.
So yeah, courtesy air is like spreading rumors and stuff like that. It looks like.
All right, that works. So this guard essentially like walking you up,
Mhm.
and I don't know. Have you dropped way back from the others at this point, or are you?
I imagine like the main train has slowed to like somewhat accompany me, but like I'm
Yeah.
picturing this as also uphill.
Definitely uphill. It's definitely uphill. So unless one of the other ones was specifically trying to stay within earshot of the scorpion, they probably didn't hear this guy.
Well, I
So-
don't trust him, right?
I mean, you seem to have reason not to. I would think it's entirely reasonable if you wanted to like keep a little closer eye on this guy.
Mhm.
If that's the case, then yeah, you probably just heard that.
I welcome it. I welcome the scrutiny of our Dragon Secret Police.
Have nothing to hide.
I have nothing to hide. I am a loyal member of this empire.
No, but I know the truth.
Yeah, so you also know this, and the head of the guard is now getting. You're sort of cresting a hill,
Yeah.
and you can see you're sort of walking down this pathway that has nicely like marble cobbled stone or cobbled surface, and you guys and see this palace sort of rise before you. And they shuffle you up a flight of stairs that's very impressive.
Mhm.
Very wide and tall, and the banisters on either side leading to this big doorway into the building are covered in gold leaf all the way up. And these people really like shiny things.
So what you're saying is it's tastefully decorated and, if anything, understated.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. There's jade everywhere. Very tasteful. Definitely not a conspicuous opulence at all. And the little an initial foyer, and you can see servants bustling around and people that look like they're dressed like Otomo. I don't even know if they're samurai. They're just Otomo family members. I don't think they're technically samurai. Out and this is a big deal. This thing that you were here for was a big deal because it's a burial and succession. But that things are a little more frantic than maybe they would be even then. And you are the head of the guard turns and looks at you, and sort of you can see him sort of tapping his foot a little bit as the scorpion closes from the back. The here to speak to you soon. Do not leave this spot. And each of the guards in turn, and they both take their like ready stances. And he walks and sort of turns down in the hallway, and disappears. While everything's bustling around you. If you want to disappear into the mess, this is the chance. If not, then we'll just have the head of the household come talk to you.
Are there any other clans around?
Not that you can see. You think maybe there? Yeah, you probably see a couple of like, or not a crab, a lion retainer or two.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not like they're not full samurai. They're the vassal families.
Okay. No
they're
crane?
probably here as part of a larger group that came to pay their proper respects. And they look like they are organizing somehow. They are they're not carrying things, and they're not like moving things around. They are sort of passing through your view, looking like they're on the way to places.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that'd probably be the only sign.
I'm just looking for Crane so that I can be like, yo, neither of us want this whole merger bullshit to happen. So we should form an alliance.
Yes, definitely form an alliance, because that's not the proto great clan. Yes. Your Otomo's alliance definitely did result in a new clan. The couple minutes, fairly long time it feels like, especially with all this activity going on. A woman, probably maybe pushing 70, but still moving fairly quickly in a very dignified way down this, sort of rounds the hallway that the captain went down, and he is following her back out. And she walks into the foyer. She sort of looks at each of you, and she looks sad, judgmental, and incredibly pressed upon, like all at the same time. And then she sort of looks at the captain of the guard and nods in a direction, and then the captain looks at the two guards, and they sort of sweep you in that direction, into what looks like it's probably a dining hall of some sort, but and it is currently being set by the the servant class. But the two people you're with, the two Otomo, well, the Otomo that aren't the two nameless guards, don't appear to pay them any attention whatsoever. They just sort of like walk through and then stand near the table, and they shuffle you in. Just sort of a circle, standing near this table, and the woman looks at the captain of the guards, and then sighs. Thank you for coming, of your clan, to my late husband. I to our family that you would be here as rep. Thank you for coming and paying your respects of your clan to my late husband. It means a lot to us that you would be here. Um, Unfortunately, your time here will need to be us with something else. You are, and she sort of looks and she makes the sweep again with that judgmental gaze. You are the last of the representatives of the great clans to arrive. And as such, you were not here when the incident occurred. Request your aid in getting to the bottom of this and trying to situation from spiraling even further
I
problems.
I think I'm going to like almost the second she's done talking. So like the picosecond it is not improper to say something. I'm going to basically say, thank you for entrusting us with this honor. I will happily carry out my duty and find the murder of the monk and like just spill everything, like 110% of everything out loud.
You can
And
see her.
I have the shit-eatingest grin under my mask.
As soon as Ichiro mentions a dead monk, I just kind of look over. It's like, ooh, I knew I had a good feeling about that. I gotta have to watch him.
So she just blanches for a split second. Like,
Again,
she just,
I wink at Makoto, and I'm because like the truth's her whole bag. So
you know. So yeah, you see what is probably normally an incredibly dignified mask crack for just a second because of all the crazy crap that she has to deal with right now. But almost instantly, it's back. And thank you for your. Oh, I appreciate your fervor in routing out the dangerous elements. I will now. I have to return to the preparations. I will leave you in the hands of my brother-in-law. I'm gonna check his name real quick. Kazuma.
Charles.
I'll leave you in Kazuma's hands. He will explain to you the events of the day. Please do what you can to bring this to a righteous close.
So you free to rest easy in the knowledge that we will not rest until any untoward action taken towards this unfortunate individual has been brought to the light.
Appreciate your support in this, and your reputation precedes you.
Hopefully we'll do
Please.
good things.
Find all of the aid that we can give you in this, but it must lie on your heads because it's your responsibility because you are the only ones that we know are innocent, that we all know are innocent of this brutal crime. And then she sort of nods, she bows, and she nods to Kazuma, and then turns and does the same walk away that she did towards you. And then Kazuma steps forward, and he takes a deep breath, and you can see he's sort of collecting himself too. Are of a social bent or an investigative bent. Without even rolling, you can tell that your mere presence and the fact that there are so many great clan samurai here at once wrecking this dude's cool. Like, it's not okay. Even on top of all the other things, like, this situation right now is not okay with him.
So I want to start by grilling this guy for any possible motives or people who could wanted this person dead. all the fun stuff that this people aren't going to want to talk about in Rokugan.
And then,
Yes.
as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to ask somebody to take me to the scene of the Moida.
Kazuma Otomo, the captain of the guard, will immediately sort of scoop you up. He'll and we will move, and it will take you to the monastery where this happens, and he'll give you the details there. Essentially, he'll walk you there in like basically silence, and sort of him walking at the front of your group. This chaos in this household just sort of like parts like the wake on a boat, just around him as they walk you out there, and it's
Reforms
this
for about 20 feet, and then I hobble behind.
like a skier.
I have I have a thing that I wanted to do, but maybe we can do it when we get to the scene of the murder. But basically, I want to present to Kozumo or the widow a walking stick as gift, and then just start walking like fairly normally.
And no, you can totally have done that to. Sorry, yeah, you can totally have done that to the widow,
Yeah.
and yeah. Before she turns, you present the stick.
Yeah, and it's a gift of like metaphorical value of like how Scorpion is always here if you need a hand. Just even taking care of the most mundane tasks, we are here to assist and like present the walking stick that I was leaning on.
She will take the walking stick and she will bow. It's the most gracious gift, Scorpion-san, and your meaning is well taken. We honor your clan and your dedication to your duty. And then she will turn and hand it to one of the just like hold it out, and a servant that passes grabs the walking stick, and then and now as she's like leaving the room, you see her like wipe her hands on another servant.
And like 6 inches beyond where the servant grabbed it, there's a fire that it's been thrown in. Like
exactly. We're gonna add this to the pile, and that pile will be lit on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kazuma. Well, sorry, let me make sure I'm pronouncing this dude's name correctly. Kazuma, the captain of the guard, walks you into this, and he walks you out of this building, right? Which is a huge. This is basically the palace, right? So it's got a bunch of feasting halls and those sorts of things, and it's where the actual daimyo and his family live, and then across a big courtyard that is a gardens and has an orchard inside of it and super nice, and sort of across on a walkway to has a under like a big Reito gate, and then into what appear to be sort of cloistered monk stalls and a monastery looking area, right? And people here the monks are just sort of monking around. They're sweeping and like pruning flowers, and you can see some of them like carrying big buckets of rice for the dinner or for the nightly meal and that kind of thing. Because by now it's getting on towards evening. It's getting somewhat darker. And he walks you to the building in the middle of the monastery, big round building, with a sort of pointed cone top, made out of some sort of super expensive looking, like dark wood with golden inlay and jade studding all around it. You walk through the open door of the shrine, and inside is again very opulent for a monastery. A bunch of smaller, what appear to be family shrines for the Otomo around. Various very high quality religious paraphernalia, and then laying sort of in the middle of this building is a well, not super, like mid 50s probably, bald man in a reddish brown set of robes, on the ground, dead.
So
He
what happened?
says as he points. What
When did you
happened?
find this person?
The the monks reported him dead. Only a few only an hour before we came to get you. Um, this is very recent. Very recent.
All right, bring me all the monks that spoke with you. About this.
He was sort of because Kazuma sort of taken aback. Well, the monks are very busy and do not generally. We have Heenan to take away the body. That is not a problem.
No, I'm not having them take away the body, but I'm going to talk to all of them to determine which of you are telling me the truth, and then we're going to investigate and figure out what happened. I'm an expert in this. I have been trained by the Katsuki masters.
And you can see him sort of backpedaling a little bit and trying to like. Essentially, you guys are in a jurisdictional fight already. Oh, well, I appreciate your expertise, Dragon-san. We are going about their business. There's no need to disturb them. Surely your skills of deduction, what is going here, without disturbing the daily life of our monastery, is very important to the serenity of our home.
And the serenity of your home has already been impugned by the death of one of the order here. Perhaps you should be less worried about appearances and more worried about the killer list.
Can I apologize on his behalf?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna like offer up a heap of platitudes, being like, I apologize on behalf of the insult you've just received. And understandably, Kitsuki-san appears to be bereaved at the death of this monk, and as such must be just mad with grief.
And then at this point, Django is going to step forward a little bit. She's going to say, "Well, let's perhaps let us start by inquiring those who reside here who are not above such distractions." And then she kind of just looks around and kind of takes stock of the scenery here and trying to figure out what elements are prominent, because she's going to start a ritual to commune with the spirits.
Okay.
I was actually trying to antagonize this person and get information out of them.
And I'm totally cool with that.
Okay.
I'm totally cool with that. If you want to sort of force the issue, in fact, if you want to sort of piggyback on Soshi's apology and be like, no, wait, that's not what's going on here, that's totally cool. I'm into you bullying this dude around. That's fine.
Okay.
I also want to state Andrew is trying to help Mike make that happen.
Figured.
And also I'm trying to antagonize this guy by clearly not meaning a fucking thing I'm saying.
Also, I picked up provocation fire while we were doing other stuff, so I figured this was good.
Sounds good. Yeah, somebody give me a roll to try to push this guy's buttons and get him to give you something.
It's all you, Mike.
Whether he wants to or not.
I forgot how to roll.
Target number?
Oh, target number on getting this guy to... The target number on getting this guy to react in some way that's informative and or helpful is probably a 2. Pretty close to the edge.
Okay. So Mike, go to the fourth tab. Hit token for each ring and skill die you have. So Ara's ring has a skill. Once you've got them all generated on the Roll20 tabletop, you can click and drag to select them all, right click that group, and then just hit random side and it'll roll them.
Alrighty. So
Yeah,
Beat us dice. It's great.
Yeah,
So,
I made dice
that's
at
what I'm
lunch.
trying to do. I'm not sure what the best thing to roll for that is.
Well, it kind of just
Provoke
depends
him.
on your particular approach to how you're doing it.
Hmm.
Yes, it's all about approaches, just like Dresden Files, sort of. If you are attempting to get him to react, like if you're trying to provoke him into something, um, with your like passion and for investigation or making him intimidated, it's probably fire. If you're trying to like pull rank and tell him this is the thing that we're doing because this is how it's supposed to be done, that's sort of an earth thing. If you want to fool him into doing the thing, that's an air thing. Or if you want to sort of take his argument and judo it back on him, that's a water thing.
Um, reading these vague things, I guess I'm trying to uh, provoke him into revealing more information than he wants to. So I guess that's kind of trickery and kind of bear.
Yeah. If you're trying, if you're essentially like, yeah, and to manipulate him in that way, yeah, that sounds like air to me.
That looks like air command or maybe air command fire. Because command has intimidation, interrogation, and instruction as possible sub skills. But I mean, whatever skill you want to say, like you can make arguments for it.
Okay, so I have one command and two. All right, let's try that. So you said R is rank, right? Or
R is
ring?
ring, S is skill.
And S is, oh wait, I'm wrong button. So you said
Hit token, and it'll generate those tokens on the map. And then you can click and drag to highlight them.
and then what?
And then hit random side. So it'll be, I think it's multi-sided, then random side.
Wait, hang on. Which random side where I find that? Sorry.
So highlight them, right click,
Yes.
there will be multi-sided that comes up,
Mm-hmm.
and then random side, and it'll roll that group. Yeah, there
Okay.
you go.
Wow.
It's
All
two
right.
exploding successes.
Strife, but yes, 2 exploding successes.
Oh, did you delete those?
Yeah, should I now do that?
I mean, you might want to keep them around,
I mean,
you can
it
always,
should,
there's always that group of
Especially
3
if you
right there
wanna-
if you want to.
especially if you want to re-roll those exploding successes.
Sorry.
Control Z should bring them back.
Control Z is not.
Okay.
I think you can use the 3 icons that I generated earlier that are on the right hand side.
They're per player, so I can click mine. You can click
Really?
yours. Zach can click anyone's.
Wah, wah.
Just say, because I can do it.
Yeah. So that's why I've got mine down here, so I know where they are.
Gotcha.
Okay, I get it. So the exploding success. So I keep 2, or how does it work?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to keep 2, which in this case probably are the 2 exploding successes. I would
That's
assume.
The circles.
Yeah.
The 3.
Fireballs.
And then I can reroll them again.
Roll those. Yeah, if you keep the exploding successes, you can roll those 2 again.
So 3 successes,
Wow.
3 strike.
And you
Shit.
keep rolling that one.
Keep
Because
rolling
you got
that
another
exploding die.
exploding.
But I think you have like
That's 4
You're like-
strife.
4 strife
Four
now.
strife, but that's also 3 successes and an opportunity.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Damn.
And target was 2, so you get them.
Yeah, so you mark down 4 strife. Probably getting fairly close to going off, actually. So with your 3 successes, yeah, so you successfully. You and he are having this sort of back and forth. So she chimes in. Django has wandered off to do magic things. Sort of as you're having this back and forth with him, and you're both like citing like imperial law precedent and things because it's very important, and then you sort of like flip it around and suddenly like, yeah, but I'm actually, it turns out that what I do is important enough that I have jurisdiction here. He's like, yes, but, and then he's like, wait, I just agreed. Shit. Then he turns and to the guards, and the guards disappear. They're ready to go get the monks. Now, um, for your extra success and advantage, what would you like to know about this guy?
So I realized this wasn't water, but I do have shallow waters, which is interesting for this. But they're not necessarily here. Uh,
That's the one where you learn the material desire of the person.
Yeah. It's not super relevant to this case, but I'm just trying to figure out like in general how the system works.
Since it's air, what I'll tell you, since air is sort of hiding something, which is not unusual for people in Rokugan who you interact with because they're supposed to be interesting. But this guy is specifically hiding something, and you remember, because you've got perfect memory, that he was referred to as the brother-in-law?
Right.
He's the one person who doesn't have perfect memory in this group.
Is the other two?
Yeah.
Never mind. Anyway, so your investigator senses, you remember that he was the brother-in-law, even if you don't have perfect recall.
Yeah.
But he was the brother-in-law, and that he's pretty busted up about what's going on, and that explains some of his weird-ass behavior. Not all of it. And you've interacted with your fair share of guard captains. And that's not all that's going on right now. Something about this dude is off.
Okay.
Going back to my inquiry before, were there any particular like elements or rings about this place that kind of leap out at me that I would use to focus my spirit ritual?
About this place, I mean, the Otomo in general are a very traditionalist clan. They're also very highly social. So the whole deal is air and stone, air and earth. Something about this room right now, though, earth is pretty strong. Is pretty strong.
Of course, you cut out right when you said that last one.
I think air.
Fire.
Fire.
Fire is pretty strong.
Well,
are the two elements that you're getting pretty strongly right now. In a place that's supposed to be pretty balanced, because this is the spiritual center of this place, right? Earth and fire in this room right now are pretty strong elements.
Well, I'm
something else that you're not comfortable with or familiar with.
An element that I'm not familiar with?
Necessarily, but some sort of spiritual echo of something that isn't pleasant to interact with.
Could I potentially learn more about that if I interact with Void in this ritual somehow?
Seems entirely reasonable.
Okay. I think I'll try that.
Now, bear in mind that when you roll Void, it's basically like sacrifice play, opening yourself up to do something super cool. I love it, but...
wait, how so?
Well, so when you roll with Void, it's a big deal.
Yes.
Like, if you roll with Void in a fight, you're essentially being like, I'm taking the hit, but I'm going to stab him back even harder. Or,
It's speaking plainly.
Because as I understood it in terms of like ritual and invocation stuff, Void is more like turning to some kind of hidden self-knowledge or introspection about the area to glean something else.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, appeal to non-elemental spirits and other supernatural presences if using Void. So I think I'll try that.
For it.
Let's target one theology using Void, is what it says.
This is a place where you can fairly easily uh, commune with the elements and other spirits.
Cool.
That's the whole point. So,
All right. Well, let's give this a go.
Strife.
that's fun.
Wait, so is that a stripes? Oh, it's just that's turned.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both
Yeah,
strife
that's-
success.
Successes. 2 strife and
Cool.
2 successes. If you
All
want to
right.
keep them. If you
Well,
just want to keep the 1, that's fine too. Because your TN is 1. So you don't have to overshoot. If you do, it might be something cool in it for you.
Yeah, I'll overshoot. I'll get some, because I was looking for any kind of spiritual knowledge about the area, so I'll get some extra info. Why not?
Yeah, so you're still getting the very strong feelings of earth and fire.
Mhm.
That other presence, though, does Django have any sort of experience with the Shadowlands?
0.
Whatsoever? Okay, so this is a new feeling for you, and it's unpleasant.
Unless there's any kind of analog that she would have encountered outside of Rokugan.
Not as a... Yeah, no. I mean, there is Shadow... No, this is a different thing.
Okay, cool.
Probably sort of recognize it as the bad thing in big capital letters that everyone's worried about all the time.
Mhm.
And so that might be your first instinct, but it's also fairly faint. And uh, but something in here, something about this place feels like it's been corrupted.
Okay. All right, so that's what I get for my 2.
Oh, that was kind of the 1. For 2, let's say that something about which you guys haven't actually gone to yet directly. Something about the body has a massive elemental imbalance.
I gotta come back because my toddler is starting to scream. 2 seconds.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
So I'm a spy master. Assassinations are probably things that I've deniably arranged previous.
Huh?
How would I have done this?
Well, if you were going to do it, you probably would have.
Or like, can I identify a method in the apparent madness?
Okay. Yeah. So, actually, so if you were like grading an underling on their assassination, method, it's a little sloppy, but it's not bad. Like, there's some minor signs of scuffle.
Yep. What was what's the cause of death? Apparently,
his head is facing the wrong direction.
Oh.
And at this point, there's probably a lot of like bruising and purpling that's going on in this general area.
So we're looking for a crab.
It's possible. They've been known to do these sorts of things. Snaps. And he's not a large man. He's an old man. You might not be able to do it cleanly, but it's not necessarily like you're looking for a huge bruiser to have done this. But whatever it was, are like a few of the smaller shrines near the body have been disturbed somewhat. There's a couple of like candles that have fallen on the floor, burn out essentially. But yeah, the other thing you notice immediately, the two of you that have like actual investigative eyes or experience with like the human body, notice
we do from different sides.
It's the same skill set. Literally, it's the same skill set in a lot of ways. He's missing his left hand.
Oh.
Where his hand should be is gone.
Hmm.
It's kind of hard to tell because he's got those voluminous robes that are sort of over it,
Mm-hmm.
but there should be a hand sticking out of that sleeve, and there's not.
Was
And the
it?
sleeve itself is, and a little, it's miscolored somehow.
Okay. And does it look hacked off? Like clean wound, no wound?
Not bleeding.
Okay. So post-mortem, most
Um,
likely.
Yeah, I'll let you guys decide what you're investigating next.
Okay.
More details is more investigation.
Okay.
Change my volume. Oh, I can't do that from here.
I mean, I'm happy to, like, skulldugger at this and be like, so, you know, what was the method of... Well, I guess I'm trying to figure out, like... I think I care more about the politics, because I don't actually care about the facts of who did this. I care about who would have the most cause to, and therefore is the most guilty. Because that seems like Rokugan Law and Order.
Mm-hmm. It
Yeah.
does. It does.
So yeah, like what's the political sitch? Who would want this monk dead? And how can I make it the Cranes?
The other thing that you notice,
I think that's it. I think when one of those monks comes by to talk to Makoto, I'm just gonna start a rumor.
that it was the crane.
Yeah, it was clearly those cranes.
So Makoto, do you want to do any poking around the room before the monks show up, or are you waiting on the interrogation victims?
Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out, like, where do you see the approaches?
That'll be
Like,
Skills. I'm looking at, for example, page 87, right?
Mhm.
And I'm in the social skill group, looking at the just by ring, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then if you go down into the actual social skills, like on page 87 down at the bottom, you look at command, and command has the reason approach, which is the earth ring, the charm approach, which is the water ring, the insight approach, which is the fire ring, the trick approach, which is the air ring, and the enlighten approach, which is the void ring.
if you go to the character sheet too, the first one that you see is the narrative mode, which is the one we're in right now, because we're not fighting each other. And under narrative mode, it has like the skills broken into their categories: artisan, martial, social, scholar, trade. And it actually lists all the approaches by ring as well.
Gotcha. Okay. That's actually super helpful. I probably should have looked at that first.
I only just found it, so I mean...
Yeah, I hadn't seen it either, so don't feel bad at all.
Yeah, we're all new to this. There's no...
So government seems like the way of figuring out, like, who would have been gaining from this sort of thing, right?
Government would probably tell you something about who we should have been, who you should have probably expected to be around,
Like,
or
so, yeah, I'm just trying to. Like, there's a section on the art of investigation. So I guess I want to examine the body, and I guess that's medicine.
want to examine the body. That's probably medicine.
So, but like the description for reward does not at all match what I'm thinking for investigation. I'm getting really high on this stuff. I'm sorry. I guess analyze is what I want, right? Because I want to figure out like what happened. Although you said that they turned the hand around, and somebody else said that it was a Shadowlands magic or Shadowlands. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if sorry.
Jungo?
Yeah, Jungo has shared this information with you yet. I think that's probably something you could figure out visually as well if you get close enough to things.
Get a good bouquet.
I would have shared this, yes.
Okay.
So I guess there's not a lot that I can learn from the body. I want to like analyze or like survey the room. I want to try to figure out if anything else was disturbed, or if there was like if someone specifically came here to kill this person, or if they caught him in the midst of something. Like, is there anything else at place, that sort of thing? Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, that sounds like some sort of observational skill.
Right. But like, I have no idea what that falls under. I don't know if that's skullduggery. I don't know if that's like, because I'm not grilling anybody.
Know or learn of a fact.
Or-
And I realize that we're going to hung up on this pretty hard, so I'm sorry.
James, yeah, skullduggery seems to be just like criminal things.
Yeah, it's like professional thievery, professional crime. So I mean,
But, like,
maybe.
Yeah. Want to sort of reconstruct the thing, you do skullduggery because the medicine, the survey approach was looking around was water skullduggery maybe.
Sure. Trying out per weekend. Yeah, sure. Why not? All right. So
Skullduggery to find useful information, I'm going to say it's probably TN2. Imagine the guards have been looking over to the TN1. New interesting stuff is probably TN2.
highlight the stuff, and I multi-shot a random side, right?
Yep.
And that is an explosive success on one of them, and regular successes without strife. So I'm going to take these two,
Mhm.
And I'll re-roll this one again. So that's three successes.
Three successes. Okay. All right. So what you see first thing is that he was, based on sort of the way that things are strewn from where, you can tell that he was basically probably, at least initially, kneeling down in front of the shrine that's one of the shrines that's sort of at the far end of the building, which is the Otomo, one of the Otomo ancestor shrines. Looks like he got attacked from behind, stood up. He and the attacker stumbled around, wrecking some shrines up, knocking over some candles until he sort of came to lay where he is now.
Do you full Sherlock explain that to everyone in earshot?
Yes, like, and
Awesome.
like, I've got nonsense equipment that clearly have like, this is stuff that cannot possibly aid investigations.
Right. No.
There's like measurement sticks and like like a light thing and a magnifying glass that has been modified from a spyglass sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like yeah, so I'm talking about it all this, so yes, okay, the suspect was or the victim was attacked from behind. There was a struggle, and I kind of like danced around the room sort of thing, like reinventing what's going on, until finally they came to us here. So based on this, I would deduce, and there's like nothing else missing in the room, right? It's like
nothing seems to be missing. With the sort of the another part of your success, because you got 3 when you're shooting a 2. While you're walking around, there's a sort of a crunching underfoot. It's odd. Usually these things are fairly well swept out and kept up. So if there's some sort of dust or stone on the floor crunching, that would be noticeable. The other thing that you notice is that where his arm has been removed.
What has been removed?
His hand.
Okay.
I believe I said his left hand. Was that right? His left hand has been removed.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to duck. It's just not staying down.
Oh, sorry, man. Yeah, we can.
We're probably about to wrap, so.
All right, cool.
We'll catch up. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Good luck, man. Good luck with the kid. Last little bit. Essentially where his arm would have been laying, his left arm would have been laying on the ground. there is a straight line scorch mark cut into the nice mahogany floor. It's about 2 feet long, and matches up pretty much with where you would expect his arm to have been, and the similar marks, the similar discolorations on his robe.
So
It's
I'll
definitely a
like
crane weapon. It's a
like
crane
what is it,
lightsaber.
like a flaming scimitar sort of thing. I say, you know what that means? Blood magic.
Yep, blood magic.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
so
that's a crane lightsaber. It's a tale as old as time. I think we should probably call it here, and then I'll start
anyway,
next
yeah,
session planting false evidence.
great. That sounds great.
I can't do that. I'll have to kill you.
You'll have to catch me, and then also convict me in a court of Rokugani law.
No, I won't have to convict you at all.
You're just gonna murder a cripple?
That's the thing, right? Like, that's how it goes down, actually. If he can justify actually putting you on trial, the trial is by sword.
Well,
So,
sure, and then I cite obscure Rokugani law and get some murdered
that's pretty much
crab
what happens, yeah.
to stand in.
I will put my governance against your governance, sir.
Well, you'll put your governance against my skullduggery or something.
Yeah, the way you get out of that is
Let
by
me share my
convincing,
character
by
sheet so that we can. Here, let's see.
convincing somebody else to fight that battle for you.
Yeah. Or dying in a well-plotted ambush. Anyways. We have been that D&D podcast. This has been a pretty rough beta stream, but I mean, it's beta is beta, and yeah, we're learning the rules. I'm having a lot of fun.
I enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll throw this up on YouTube as I do with all our VODs, and yeah, have a great night. And thanks for coming out, everybody. Thanks for watching on Twitch.
Night, Internet.